Hello everyone and welcome to another video. In today's video, we're going to look at terminal marks. So my name is Daniel Shaw. I'm one of the authors of this guide, and we're going to look today a little bit at periods, question marks, and exclamation marks. So we want to learn a little bit about each one, what they look like, how to use them, and then also some tips as well. So what we will cover in this video, well, as I've mentioned, first we're going to look at periods or full stops. Then we'll look at question marks. After that, we'll look at exclamation marks. And throughout each section, I'll also give you some tips for use, so you know how to use them and some examples to help you understand how to use each terminal or ending mark. So let's begin with the period or the full stop. So the main function of a period mark is to end a sentence. There are three other uses which you can find in the table. So the table here shows the period or the full stop in use. So the first function is that it ends a sentence. So the example we have here, Vancouver is one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Secondly, it's used in an indirect question. I don't know why Vancouver has the mildest climate in Canada. Thirdly, it is used with abbreviations. There is a gun in Stanley Park that is shot at 9 p.m. every night. So we can see 9 p.m. is abbreviated. That's why we have the periods and full stops in there. And the fourth way it's used to shorten a word. So Monday, month, January, Jan, Doctor, DR, and so on. Here's the example. Dr. Sun Yat-sen Classical Chinese Garden is in Vancouver. So there's some more examples such as etc., BC for British Columbia, vol for volume, Mrs., Inc. for incorporated, and so on. So the main function is to end the sentence, but there are three more, making four functions in total. A couple of tips on periods and full stops. Period is North American English and full stop is British English. So depending where you are in the world or what kind of English you're used to hearing, you will hear maybe period or full stop. If a sentence ends with a question mark or exclamation mark, the period is omitted. So if there's an exclamation point at the end of a sentence, we don't need a period, we don't need a full stop. And we use a period at the end of an indirect question. So I wonder what Vancouver is famous for. So we can use it in an indirect question. We can also use a period or a full stop at the end of the sentence. So that's just a very quick overview on periods and full stops. Next, we're going to take a look at question marks. Very simply, the question mark changes a statement into a question. So a statement, a sentence into a question. Let's have a look at some functions and examples. First of all, it is used at the end of direct questions. So the example, how old is Vancouver? Question mark, about 134 years is the answer. We have the question mark at the end. You can also hear a slight raise, a slight intonation raise at the end. How old is Vancouver? So that will also help you understand that a question is being asked. Secondly, it directs question within a sentence. Do you love English Bay? She asked. So again, we can hear the question, we can see the question mark. Do you love English Bay? She asked. And the third type of function, it appears when the question mark is part of a title of work. Have you seen Are We There Yet? A movie shot in Vancouver. So again, we can see the question mark asking, have you seen Are We There Yet? So some tips. It's not a good idea to combine question marks with other marks. So it can get a little bit confusing if we're trying to do too many things. We want our ideas to be simple and clear and be understood, especially in writing as well as speaking. So it's not a good idea to combine question marks with other marks. So just one question mark for a question. Requests that are phrased as questions should end with a period. Would you please send this report to the person indicated on the cover? So again, it's a request, phrased as a question, just a period or a full stop for that one. So that is question marks. All right, next we're going to look at exclamation marks. I said it like that because this is used to show surprise or emphasis at the end of sentences. So what do I mean? Let's have a look at some examples. So in this table, we have three functions again and three examples to help you understand. First of all, function at the end of the sentence to show strong emotion. Vancouver is home to Canada's longest swimming pool. Wow, that's surprising. So there's a picture of Kitsilano Pool. Secondly, to show extra anger, excitement, and surprise. Wow! Exclamation mark. I love Stanley Park. Again, if we're very excited, surprised, happy, we can use an exclamation mark. On the other side, if we're angry, we can also use the exclamation mark. And then finally, to give a command. So go to biker ride along the seawall, exclamation mark. Again, showing surprise or emphasis at the end of a sentence. So those are the three main functions of the exclamation mark. A couple of tips with this. Make sure not to use exclamation marks in formal writing. So if we're writing an academic essay, maybe at university, we should try to avoid this as it is a little informal. It's definitely correct to use in your writing, but in a formal setting, we should probably avoid exclamation marks. Next, do not use two marks, question and exclamation together. Again, try to avoid that. Like we said previously, just use one ending mark or one terminal mark at the end of your sentence. If using this mark in a quotation, use this format. Get out, Jack said. So again, we're using it in a quotation. We can use it at the end of the sentence. So next steps, where do we go from here? Well, a few things we can suggest to help you be successful. So what we can do next, we can look at the sentences in your books to see how the ending marks appear. So have a look in your guide, have a look at the sentences to help you understand how we can use the period, full stop, the question mark, and the exclamation mark. You can also practice the quiz in the next sections of the booklet. So we do have a quiz for you to practice, for you to try. Please do take a look at that and practice those questions to help you get a good understanding. And then finally, look at the examples of terminal marks in context. There are some Instagram posts that you can use to help you see it for real and see what a real example might look like. So that is terminal or ending marks. That's periods, full stops, question marks, and exclamation marks. I hope you found this useful, and I'll look forward to seeing you again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.